and good things. We are streaming live over at supertalk.fm. You can also stream us from the SuperTalk Mississippi app, and we hope you know you can always find us too on that local SuperTalk Mississippi radio station. And don't forget, you can also watch us. So many ways to tune in on your computer or your mobile device. Today, we're going to celebrate the 21st annual Oxford Film Festival. It's kicking off this week. Joining us to tell us a little bit more about what to expect is Ryan Parker. Hey, Ryan.
Hey, Rebecca, thanks for having me.
It's good to have you. And gosh, anything that's been around for 21 years, that means that people enjoy it and they look forward to it. So give us, though, a little background about the Oxford Film Festival for those who may have never been to one of the other 20. What's it like? What's it about?
Well, it's chock-a-block full of films. I mean, there are 120 narrative and documentary features and shorts. It's going to be programmed over 3 nights, and then on Sunday, winners in each category will be replayed, and there'll be a couple other special screenings on Sunday. But it's really a great weekend. There's something for everybody. There's family-friendly programming. There's horror, thriller, short block programming, documentary features. And, of course, every night caps off with a party, and then the opening night festivities start with a live recording of Thacker Mountain Radio, followed by a Mississippi premiere screening of Adam the First, which stars David Duchovny and was actually shot here in Mississippi. So it's going to be a great weekend.
So how long have these individuals been working on these films? Or is it one of those things that they've been working on them for a while, and then once they get completed, they start to put them into different film festivals, and Oxford Film Festival being one of them? Or do they have to meet criteria? How do you get into the festival, I think is what I'm asking, as a film producer or director?
Yeah. I mean, I think it's fairly open. You know, I've been handling some of the publicity work this year, and am also on the jury for the documentary features category. Unlike, there are less regulations for applying to this film festival, and that's similar to regional film festivals across the country. So it doesn't matter if a film is played at another festival. It helps if it's certainly on the feature side yet to be released. But filmmakers, you know, because we have such a rich program, from experimental shorts to full-on features. I mean, you've got producers who've probably been working on films. You know, people say the average time it takes to make a feature-length film is about 7 years. Now, you know, there'll be people who can make it quicker or it takes longer. So you could have a feature filmmaker who's been working on a film for years, and you could have a documentary or a feature short, or like a student feature or student short, for example, that may have been shot in a weekend.
Wow. So when you okay, I've never been to a film festival. I'll just be honest, Ryan, but I find them fascinating, and I know a lot of people enjoy them. And I just went and saw a movie last weekend with the family, Kung Fu Panda 4. I don't think it's going to be at your film festival, but it's a lot of fun. And anyway, so you sit through this whole feature film. Do you sit through all of these, like if you're a participant in the film festival, or is it you come in knowing you're going to see one or you're going to see two? Because the idea of consuming all of them is a little overwhelming.
Well, it's impossible. I mean, it would just because you have films running concurrently. So there's a great layout on the website at ox-film.com. You can select tickets and passes, and you can see the screenings. You can search by categories or by filmmaker. And it really is kind of choose your own adventure. And this is true of all film festivals. I've been lucky to go to quite a few with the work that I do. So you can buy single tickets. So they're great options for how deep you want to dive, or if you just want to catch one film. So single ticket passes are $10, and you can go all the way up to a VIP that gets you access to everything. But still, you would have to pick what film you would want to go see. And so really, it's just kind of personal preference. You like documentaries? Well, you could spend all day watching documentaries. If you like short films, it's the same thing. So really, you can kind of make the festival be what you want it to be.
That's good advice, Ryan. You mentioned that you're going to be sitting for the documentaries. So that means you're going to be judging them?
Yes. Yeah, I'm part of a team. Mm-hmm.
So what do you look for? That's interesting because they're all going to be different, I would assume. Obviously, they've got the core underlining thing that they're a documentary. Maybe I should ask the question, what makes a documentary and not a film? I mean, I know it's a film, but you know what I mean. Like, what's the difference between the two? And then what do you look for one to stand out?
Oh, that's a good question. I mean, the documentary category, it's going to be, I mean, look, people talk about reality television and documentary television. There is a scripted element to everything, right? You kind of want to, there's a story that you want to tell. But a documentary is going to hew a little bit closer to real life and is going to try to capture something that's happened or happening in real time, as opposed to a narrative feature where it's more like Kung Fu Panda, right? Like somebody's written this that's come purely from an imagination or an adaptation of a novel, for example. So that's the case. In terms of judging a film, for me, you try to take it based on the genre. So it's a documentary, for example. But even if it's a feature film, does it look good? Does it sound good? Is the story there? Is it holding my attention? Are there things that keep me hooked and captivated, or is my mind starting to wander? So those are, I mean, I feel like a lot of people, if they kind of intuitively know, that's why I love film so much, is that everybody's a critic and everybody has their own experience of a film or a book, if you will. So, yeah, it's kind of a practice that way.
I see also that the Oxford Film Festival, which will be starting March 21st through the 24th, will also have panels and workshops. So is this a big draw for those who are interested in making their first short or jumping into their first full-length feature, or just interested in filmmaking in general?
Oh, absolutely. I think this is one of the great things about festivals, whether it's the Oxford Film Festival or any. There are so many exciting panels where industry experts come and share their experience and their wisdom for aspiring filmmakers, or like you say, for people who are just interested in the art of filmmaking, to help them understand how films work and why they may like what they like. So in this case, we have a handful of panels. I know that there's going to be discussions about like safety on set with an armorer, and then anything, as diverse as the tech of animation, a stunt action workshop. So, University of Mississippi has a great film program, so there'll be students there that hopefully take advantage of these. And again, attendees from across the state or in the community, these are some great opportunities.
It feels like Mississippi is having a moment with the film industry, and some may say we've been having a moment for a while, but it really feels like more folks are recognizing and taking pride in the number of films that are being shot here, the number of projects or independent directors that are coming out of Mississippi, and also you mentioned Ole Miss's film school, as well as other schools are sort of seeing this as a career path for many students. Is that kind of the sense within those who really enjoy film, like yourself, Ryan, that Mississippi's really starting to make a name for herself when it comes to all things film?
Well, I've been told that. I lived in Los Angeles for about 8 years before moving back to Mississippi a couple of years ago. And so as I've reconnected with folks here and made new friendships and professional relationships, that's very much the case. I mean, people who've been doing this work in the state for a long time, who are also familiar with other regional film markets, if you will, right? Like sites of production, Atlanta or New Orleans. Like Mississippi may be a little bit behind, but they see similarities about where we are now with where a place like Atlanta was just a few years ago, right? So there's a lot of hope and optimism about that. And I think, you've probably spoken with Nina Parikh at the Mississippi Film Office and the great work they do there with leveraging film incentives for filmmakers, both local and from outside of the state. So, yeah, I think you're right. And the more schools get on board with film programs, whether that's understanding film history and film theory or teaching methods of production, that's only going to benefit and kind of increase that momentum.
When did you first get into film, Ryan? When did you start your love of film, of movies?
Probably when I was a kid growing up in Brookhaven and going to the local video store and just getting stacks of movies on the weekend on VHS when we used to do that, and being thankful for Brookhaven having and still has a 4-screen theater and just seeing everything there. I mean, I think that's really where it all started for me. And then over the years, going to school and taking classes in film and enriching that appreciation. But yeah, it would have to have started at as a kid.
And Kung Fu Panda, have we seen it? I'm just kidding.
I think those movies are great.
Yeah, they are. They're fun.
Yeah, they're so fun, and I was glad to see a fourth. Hopefully I can go see it with the nieces and nephews soon.
Perfect thing to do that. But after the Oxford Film Festival, that's coming up the 21st to the 24th. Ryan, where can we go for our tickets?
Yeah, so you can go to the website is ox-film.com, /tickets dash passes. But you could really just go to ox-film.com or just Google Oxford Film Festival, and the website's really user friendly. You'll see a tab for tickets and passes. And again, you can get a single ticket, go see a single film for about $10. You can get a ticket package for as little as $60, or you can get a VIP access badge that kind of gets you into everything, movies, parties, however you want to construct your weekend.
All righty. Well, Ryan, I appreciate your time, and best of luck to you guys this weekend. And stick with us. We got more for you coming up.